for. They kind of wanted to know, what is the alpha slot, why am I interested in it, and what does it take to become an incarnate? And so the alpha slot is the very first slot in your adventure as an incarnate. It's the first one that you experience, and it's just one of several. And so in this unlock arc, you actually meet a new Mender. You meet Mender Ramiel. Now he is not the strongest of the Ouroboros, but he has he's got the line on incarnates. He is an expert in the field of incarnates. And what he's done is he's approached you and he wants you on the path to incarnate a little bit sooner because he sees something in the future, just in the future time stream, and he wants to avert it. So there's something bad coming and he wants you to kind of jump in and solve it. And so you're going to find out, what your involvement is, and basically you're going to find out what makes incarnate and how you differ from Lord Recluse and statesmen who are also incarnates, and how you stand up in comparison, which is to say you're better. And so, like I said, this is where you start your adventure. You start with the story arc, and that's where it all begins. You get all your information there.
So again, if some of you aren't aware, the incarnate system is...
Oh yeah. So if you're level 50, is anybody level 50 here? Okay, a million of you. Okay, I see. So yeah, this is your level. This is your incarnate system. This is like the elder game of City of Heroes. So this is what you guys have been waiting for. So for you people who've had your characters and you wanted something to do with them and you want a reason for being, we're now giving that to you.
So some of the things in the alpha slot, I mean, this is so exciting.
He's vibrating in his chair, you can tell.
It makes your character really powerful, and it's just one of the first steps. It is just the peak into a vast system that players are, you guys are going to embrace this stuff because it's just cool stuff. Really.
It's amazing. Who's that guy? Pop quiz. Who is it? Apex. Yeah, that's my guy. Anywho, so we actually don't have just one task force in issue 19. We actually have two. The first one is the Apex Task Force. So I bet when Apex, if anybody remembers this quote, said level 15 scrapper looking for team, he had no idea that he would be contacted by Lady Grey of the Vanguard. And basically his resourcefulness was put to the test as he did a little bit of digging on Pretoria and Cole and the Resistance, because he wanted to forestall an attack on Primal Earth from the Praetorians. And so he basically did a lot of, subversive little tactics to find out more about the Praetorians and what Emperor Cole's ultimate plans were, so that if there was an invasion or an attack, he could put together a strike force and form a defense. And by the way, if you're going to do the Apex Task Force, we highly recommend, because this is an incarnate task force, we highly recommend that you have your alpha slot slotted. If you don't, you can still participate in it, but I guarantee you will be spending a lot of time face down in the dirt. Maybe it's just me, maybe because I forgot to slot it. I died a lot, but it was really, really challenging. So if you guys think you can just, breeze through these task forces, think again. So these actually are happening in Kings Row and Steel Canyon. These are the battlegrounds. They're kind of cool the way we've kind of given them some treatment, and so you can kind of see what we've done with the maps, for your IOM maps, to participate in these task forces.
So really, this is...
And they're amazing. He's going to say it.
This is the Praetorian invasion of Primal Earth. They are about to try to set a foothold. It's like, you know what? Get your alpha slots and just fight them off. Because it's going to be...
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. Hey, let's watch a trailer. If you were here at the party last night, you might have seen it, but if you did not get to see it, this is the trailer we revealed last night. It's the world premiere.
So I'm gonna pause it at
Rated T for teen.
I'm gonna pause it at certain points, and I'm gonna point this out to you.
That's us.
See the feet of that guy?
Are they not large?
I mean, if you can get the sense of scale, you know, to the right are the Warwalkers that we introduced in Golden Room.
You guys wanted Praetorian giant monsters? Here you go.
Ouch.
That's big. You see those little swords?
Best title ever.
I want to point out, so this scene, if you can tell in the background, that's actually Metropolis, that's Neuron's Tower. And that portal,
Where are they going?
that portal graphic is where they want to go into Primal Earth. But that scene actually is from other task force that we were talking about, and it was just kind of
Cool.
We're gonna talk about that, right?
And we're gonna tell them that you're good.
But we put this in there because it was cool. I just wanted to clarify for anybody who's reposting this on YouTube or something.
That's with Jesse's commentary.
That's not in the Apex Task Force. It's in issue 19, just not in this task force. Those little Hydra things, those are cool too.
Can I continue? Okay, so the second task force I alluded to is the Tin Mage Task Force. Does anybody know who Tin Mage is? Yes. So Tin Mage was one of the teams that, one of the Omega team members that went to the Rigby homeworld, and he was lost. Still lost, actually. The guy that you see right there on the screen is actually Tin Mage Mark II. What happened was when they opened the time capsule, the Omega capsule, his schematics were in there. So they basically rebuilt Tin Mage. So he's a complete likeness. What he lacked, though, was the magical abilities of the original Tin Mage. And Lady Grey actually imbued some of her magic to him, but not quite the same as the original. So this is where, you know, Primal Earth kind of gets together and says, you know, we're done with this. We're going to take the fight to Praetorius just in case. And so this is where players get to battle all over Primal Earth, and then they go back to Metropolis to kind of find out, you know, who's responsible for, who are the leaders of this attack and what's going on. So, should be pretty cool. You guys will like it. And it's, are you going to say it's amazing? Because it's amazing.
No, it's awesome.
Awesome. It's awesome and it's amazing. So what else we did with Praetorius, we included some zone events in issue 19. Zone events are things that we've done before in, you know, City of Heroes. But what we wanted to do was kind of, you know, add not quite the UI that we had with the Halloween event, but we wanted to add a little bit of UI so kind of give you guys an idea of what you're supposed to do. You're welcome. And so what we did is we were given some tools by the programmers which gave designers the ability to actually go into a zone and create their own events, whereas before all of our zone events had to be hard-coded by programmers, and designers just kind of gave them some feedback and did some of the more mission-y type work. But now that we've actually given the tools to do all this stuff ourselves, well, insanity ensues, of course. So one of the things that we've done is we've added some zone events to the 3 zones of Praetoria. And in Nova Praetoria, your starting zone, we've included the protests. So the citizens of Praetoria are not totally happy with what's going on with, you know, Emperor Cole and this utopia, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what we've done is we've actually given you 2 avenues to explore in this zone event. You actually have 2 options. You can either, you know, dispel the riot and help the PBD, or you can actually side with the protesters and take out the PBD who are trying to stop them. And all of these zone events in Praetoria sort of follow that theme. Is you get to, hey, make a choice, because things are gray, shades of gray. So that's what's happening in Pretoria. In Imperial City, Syndicate has taken over Agile Corp. And this is one of those kind of battles where you can either help them or hinder them, it's up to you. And the culmination of the battle ends up on a really cool rooftop. And so that's going to be a lot of fun in Imperial City. And finally, we have The Great Escape, which is in Neutropolis. And this kind of centers around the ghouls who have sort of crawled out of a lab, and it's up to you to either A, subdue them and take them back, and with the help of the PPD, or on behalf of the PPD. Or it's up to you to kind of find out, wait a second, there's like one ghoul who's a little bit different, and he's like the leader of the ghouls, and what's going on? There's something different going on there. So you kind of have to choose your side. You got to choose which one you're going to do. So there's a lot of replayability there. And the cool thing about these zone events are, depending on what your participation is in the event, your rewards are commensurate. So if you like go whole hog and go nuts on these, you get some pretty cool rewards. So
Yeah, I mean, because like one of the frustrating things.
there's no frustration in City of Heroes. It's all perfect.
When we originally introduced zone events, kind of like the Fires in Steel Canyon or the Giant Octopus in Independence Court, Paladin, players could just do one action and get the same rewards as everybody else. And generally that reward was a badge or something
Else.
And that didn't seem very heroic.
Dude, a badge is totally heroic. Badge of honor, right?
So,
There you go.
I mean, again, we
yes,
always learn from what we've done in the past, and moving forward, we wanted to make sure that when people are participating in these zone events, and some are really